Welcome to the third hour of American Agenda. I'm Bob Sellers.
And I'm Allison Maloney in for Heather. Today we are now joined by our family of co-hosts, former chairwoman for the Nevada State GOP and Republican strategist Amy Tarkarian, co-chair of Project 21 and host of Stacy on the Right, Stacy Washington, and Republican strategist Ash Wright. Welcome to you all today.
Let's go to President Biden speaking right now before signing the bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. Let's listen in.
Today also marks the 6th anniversary of the tragic deaths at Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, South Carolina. A killer, motivated by hate, intending to start a race war in South Carolina. He joined his victims in a Bible study class. Then he took their lives in a house of worship. It's a reminder that our work to root out hate never ends, because hate only hides. It never fully goes away, it hides. And when you breathe oxygen under that rock, it comes out. And that's what we must understand, that Juneteenth represents not only the commemoration of the end of slavery in America more than 150 years ago, but the ongoing work to have to bring true equity and racial justice into American society, which we can do. In short, this day doesn't just celebrate the past. It calls for action today. I wish all Americans a happy Juneteenth. I'm certainly in a moment, going to sign into law, making it a federal holiday. And I have to say to you, I've only been president for several months, but I think this will go down for me as one of the greatest honors I will have had as president, not because I did it, you did it. Democrats and Republicans, but it's an enormous, enormous honor. Thank you for what you've done. And by the way, typical of most of us in Congress and Senate, I went down the other end of the hall first and thanked your staffs, because I know who does the hard work. No, they're down there. They're at the other end, but I thank them as well. May God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you. Now, I'd like to invite up, while I sign, Senator Tina Smith, Senator Ed Markey, Senator Raphael Warnock, Senator John Cornyn, Whip John Clyburn, Representative Barbara Lee, Representative Danny Davis, Chair Joyce Beatty, and Sheila Jackson Lee, and Miss Opal.
Just stand.
You should have my chair. No? Okay. All right. Thank you.
And Miss Opal, that's the first one.
All right, we know that as the president is signing this, all the people gathered around there, if they can, they want to get their hands on a pen that could be historic in its nature. As we talk over this, let's bring our panel back in. Stacy, I wanted to get your thoughts on what we're watching here. This did have widespread support.
Yeah, it did. Actually, we've been commemorating Juneteenth annually on an annual basis over at Project 21, a division of the National Center for Public Policy Research. I'm a co-chair there, and we have been celebrating Juneteenth as long as I've been a part of the organization. We always issue a press release, and we celebrate the great wonder of a nation that could have been formed in the way that we were, an idea, an experiment, having to have the concession of slavery included in our founding, and then us going to war brother against brother, fathers against sons, to make a more perfect union, which now includes freedom for everyone. And we usually highlight some of the either positives or negatives about the administration that is in office when we celebrate. And I think it's about telling the truth. It's about celebrating the emancipation of slaves here in this country. And it's about making a statement that's positive and forward-looking. I do think that President Biden used this time to advance their agenda of critical race theory in his comments there. I don't agree with that, but I think making Juneteenth a national holiday is a wonderful idea, and I think it's a great thing, and I'm fine with it. I am not among those conservatives who oppose this simply as a knee-jerk reaction because Democrats like it. I make my decisions based on what I think is best, not based on what Democrats like or dislike.
Well, Amy, it did have a lot of Republican co-sponsors as well.
Yes, and I actually think it's a wonderful thing. And the fact that we are just now getting to it is a little surprising because this took place, a long time ago. And just like she had mentioned, this is something that should be celebrated across the board. So this is a smart move, and I think that it's a right step in the right direction for everything that this country has been going through in the last couple of years, in particular, to hopefully heal and move forward in a positive fashion.
Yeah, Ash, a historic day. The bill's sponsor, Sheila Jackson out of Texas, said yesterday that it's been a long journey, but we're here.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, this is great for our country. It's a great day. I think, this was a win for Republicans and for Democrats. And it's a great way for us to try and build on something in our country that can unify us. And I think, we're going to ultimately celebrate this tomorrow and on Saturday. And it's a great day for not only for Joe Biden, for John Cornyn, for the other Republicans that voted for it. And I just think it's positive all around.
Just as the journalist, Emmy, that wants to throw a wrench in just for the conversation to make it interesting, Stacy, back in the 1980s and 83, when they made MLK Day a national holiday, not every state recognized it, at least not initially. And I'm curious whether you think this will happen immediately everywhere this time.
I think businesses are going to make decisions based upon what they can afford to pay, because when they acknowledge a holiday and add it to the calendar, it means it's a paid day off for their employees. So they have to absorb the cost of paying employees that are not working. And that was one of the concerns about Martin Luther King Day. But I was kind of surprised by the visceral reaction to making Martin Luther King's, the celebration of him a national holiday. And so a lot of businesses said, well, we won't celebrate that, or we will celebrate that. And what we'll do is we'll remove Columbus Day, or, we won't have President's Day. And so they were basically saying, look, we can afford to pay our employees for 10 paid federal holidays a year, and we can't afford to add an additional one at this time. SiriusXM, my employer for my radio job, has made tomorrow a holiday for the company. Employees have it off. I'm on our talent, so that does not apply to me. But I definitely feel like we'll see a wide range of reactions to this. And I actually think it is incumbent upon all of us to celebrate the positive parts and to acknowledge that people have a right to their feelings. And whether or not they support this as a national holiday, the reality is that it is one as of tomorrow or as of today. And that we can all agree to disagree and celebrate if we want to, or not celebrate and still keep on pushing.
Very well put. Stacy, thank you much. Panel, stand by if you will.